Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Backyard Cricket England podcast. We've got another watch along for you today, and I've got a couple of very special guests joining me to look back on match 3 of the 2023 Backyard World Cup between England and Australia. Riley Cornforth has joined us all the way from Sydney, and James Crowther, who is on his way home at the moment, but has joined us from the England boys side. I'll start with you, Riley. It's good to see you again, mate. How have you been?
Yeah, good mate. Been a long time. Good to see some familiar faces again, but yeah, good to be back.
Yeah, it's good to have you with us. And Crowther, I know you're travelling at the moment, but just to check in with you, how are you, mate? It's good to see you again.
Yeah, look, delighted to be here. Can't wait.
Yeah, we're delighted to have you both on. So, Riley, I'll start with you. Obviously, as the host nation, the WCG in Sydney. What are your memories of this tournament, the World Cup? It was such a huge thing for you guys, wasn't it? How was this for you guys to be involved?
Yeah, I reckon this is one of the best experiences that we've had there at WCG. We still talk about it to this day. Just having the amount of people that were there, meeting all these new people. We all loved our cricket. All we just wanted to do was have some fun. And I think it turned out to be such a great 2 weeks, and we made lifelong friends that I guess hopefully one day we'll all meet up again somewhere and play some more cricket.
Yeah, I think the plan was for that series in 2023 to be the first rather than the last. I think
Yes,
there will be
yes,
more. Because obviously we'd had the Ashes the week before this, and you guys had flattened us in that
yeah.
series. So
To be
what was
fair,
the mood? What was the mood in the Australia team like coming into this tournament? You must have been riding pretty high at that stage.
well, I think we were all talking about it. We were saying, it was their first 2 days on our pitch. I guess it's so different to what you guys were used to back home. So we definitely weren't. We didn't take anything from those first week. We were like, we'll start fresh. They've had their warm ups now. This is the main deal here. So, and like I think as soon as we saw you guys against New Zealand, we're like, okay, I think we're going to have our money here with England. I think they're on for this tournament. I think they want to win this one. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that New Zealand game was interesting. Crowther, I wanted to ask you about this quickly while we've got you. Obviously, again, battered in the Ashes the week before. What are your memories of the New Zealand game? Because we beat them quite resoundingly, and you got 40 odd in that game and played really well. What was the mood like in the team leading into the World Cup? And then how did that New Zealand game change it, getting off to a good start?
Yeah, look,
And we've lost him immediately there. I think, has he gone for you as well, Riley?
yeah,
All
yeah.
right, well, we allow Crowther some leeway. He's travelling at the moment, so we'll get him back as soon as we can. Riley, what do you remember about your own personal form? Because we were interested in the fact that the year before that, you'd had a really good year. You were the MVP, I think, in a Big Bash, and I think you'd had a
Yeah.
good Test series. But obviously, it's a year
I mean,
off before this tournament. Oh, Crowther's back, is he?
yeah, sorry, just as you asked me that question,
He's got to get this. Is a flying start, boy. Oh, we'll come back. We'll come back to Crowther. Riley, again, just for you then, on a personal note, how good were you feeling coming into this tournament in terms of your own form?
Yeah, I guess there was I remember when I met you guys for the first time at the house, and you were all, the MVP's here, the Big Bash MVP, and there's a lot of talk about that. To be honest, I think me and the boys just had a great tournament that day, and with the straight A T20, if you get on a roll, you're on a roll, and I feel like you can't be stopped if you're on a roll. So me and the boys with that day, we were just like, let's just keep scoring runs, let's keep going. But I think I was just keen. I knew that everyone knew, because it was weird that you guys knew who we were, and like you had watched us play before, and it was just weird, like how you knew how we played our game and what we were like, and it was like a bit different, like coming into that. So personally though, I was fired up. I was ready to go. So I think I had a good couple games before the World Cup. I unfortunately didn't make the Ashes side for the Test match, which was a bit devastating to me personally. So I was like, I wanted to fire in the World Cup. So
Did they tell you
yeah,
why? Were you given any kind of? Did you ask like who made that decision? Would that have been Brendan or Matt or both of them?
yeah.
Or
So
how did that work?
we had a training session. I remember the week before the Test match for the Ashes, and they told me that I was 12th man. Joel actually had some injury concerns, so Brendan had told me I was in the team, and he said you're more than likely in the team unless Joel's good to go. But at the moment, he's not. I was like, okay, sweet, I'll be ready to go. But there was a couple of boys in the team that didn't feature in the World Cup, like Pasterfield and a couple of other boys that had been at the WCG for so long, and I think the boys wanted them to be involved in the Test match. So didn't faze me though. Brennan told me I was going to play in all the limited overs games in the Ashes anyway. So he said just be present, and I think I was the most passionate player that was there. Anyways, I didn't even play a second of that Ashes Test match. So yeah, it was all good. I ended up playing all the games in the World Cup. So yeah, I was pretty happy.
And you had a very good World Cup, including a good first game against New Zealand. What do you remember about your first game in this tournament? Because obviously this is both of our second games. We both played New Zealand first. What was your memory? Because your game against New Zealand went really close. It went down to the last ball. That was the one where Kasacha got a winning run off the last ball. What do you remember about that?
Yeah. Well, like my whole time at WCG, I think Brennan's always seen me as a batter that can bowl. And I feel like in this World Cup, my bowling was way better than my batting. I struggled to get runs.
Interesting you say that, because our feeling coming out there was we saw you as the opposite. We saw you as a bowler who could bat a bit. How do you see yourself? What would you say you are?
Well, I think I'm a bit of a bit of both, but from the Big Bash to the World Cup, that period of time, I think I picked up a bit of yard of pace and I was a bit more confident in my bowling. So it seemed like I'd hit a couple boundaries and I'd play a stupid shot. I get bowled, I get caught behind. It was just really frustrating. So it's surprising to hear that you guys saw me as a bowler that could bat, because
I
feel like ever since I started there, I was always a batter that could bowl. But I think the World Cup sort of seen that I was a better bowler than probably ever batter.
Yeah, like I say, I think partly our kind of view on it was from the year before, where you'd bowled really well in the domestic events out there. So I think that kind of, and that was, we really looked at that a lot before we came. Had you looked at any of our players? Because obviously you said we knew about you guys. Did you know any of us? Had you watched anything of us before we came out?
Yeah, so I remember me and the twins watching a couple games by ourselves. I know Brendan and Whitey and that were really into watching it. Because I remember saying like, "Oh, we got to watch out for Ricky. Like he's going to score. So I reckon he's going to score so many runs." And then we saw a couple of other boys, and I saw Yusuf with his slow balls out the back of the hand. I was telling boys to watch out for them. Didn't work out. Everyone was getting out to them. But yeah, I think we watched it, but I think you guys knew a lot more about us, which was, I think we were all a bit scared about that, because I know a lot of the boys probably had no idea, like they don't even watch in general, so I knew they had no idea, but we heard that you guys had studied a lot about us, so.
Yeah, it went well, didn't it? It was quite, I got to admit, there's no feeling quite like that, where you've spent all that time watching hundreds and hundreds of hours. We've watched everything you've ever done, analysed everything, and then turned up on the first day of the Ashes and got beat by an innings and 200.
Oh my God.
That was a bit crushing.
I guess you can study all you want, but the pitch in general is so hard to get used to.
Yeah, well, this is a thing we were saying as well. The cameras in the videos don't really give you an idea. Like the cameras were a bit deceptive, because in the videos the domestic series we found, it looked like everything came through straight and consistent, and we thought, oh, but at least the bounce is consistent. But then we got to WCG and there was some popping up, some staying down, some going off the surface, which the camera doesn't really show you. No. So that's what we're blaming for our defeat. We're blaming the cameras. But
the actually being there as well, like when you walk out there and everything feels so close. The players are right there, the crowd's right there, everything's so tight. It's just a completely different.
It is quite claustrophobic, because none of us have ever played with an auto keeper before.
Yeah.
And it does make a bit of a psychological difference, having that thing right there behind you that never drops anything. It's the thing, you can't get away with anything.
With me, like when I'm batting there, it's always, you feel like you've got to play the shots. Like you feel like you have to hit it straight. Because if you know what I mean? Like you can't nudge it around the corner. You can't nudge a little one down to point. It's so different.
It'll play a trick on you if you do.
Yeah.
It was. But it was a great experience. I mean, obviously
Oh,
we're still waiting for Crowther before we play this recording. So
yeah.
what were your memories of our team in the Ashes then? So you'd had a little bit of a watch before we came. You'd thumped us in the
Mm.
Ashes. What was your feeling about our team? Did you remember thinking, oh, these guys are not very good, or like what did you what did you make of us after that?
Well, we've played a couple international teams before. We played the Kiwis a while before that,
Yeah.
and we knew that they were bringing over a bit of a different side this time. To last time, I think they had a pretty strong side last time. But we could tell you guys were on our level. It was just getting used to the pitch, I feel like. But at least for myself, after the Ashes, I wasn't thinking these guys have no idea. I was like, we're gonna. I was telling the boys that in the World Cup it's gonna be close. Like, there's no way that they're gonna even just be more hungry. Like, I knew you guys. I could see when you turned up on that Friday the next week, you guys were like, we're not going to lose to these blokes again. And I think it showed in this game, especially when we're going to watch this game.
Yeah, and we did. This was a big game for us. Obviously, we'll come to that when we watch it. But obviously, we didn't win a live game in the Ashes, and then
Yeah.
beat New Zealand to get off to a good start in this tournament. It's possibly fair to say that right up until the final, we were maybe the
Mm-hmm.
best team in this tournament.
I feel like coming into the final, we probably knew that you guys were better than us, and we had to play probably one of our best games in the last 2 weeks to beat you guys. But in saying that, I think it was a good tournament all around. New Zealand were unlucky. I feel like they
Yeah,
had some great players in their team too. So
I felt so sorry for them in the semi-final against you guys. I
oh,
felt sorry for the opener, Liam McFarland. I think
mate,
they
he
were
batted
chasing
so
about
well.
140, and he got about
Yeah,
80 opening up. And then they
yeah,
lost about
and
10 for 25 after that and got
you can
beat.
see
And
in you can see in those videos how frustrated we were as well. I remember being
yeah,
so frustrated we couldn't get him out. But yeah, I think we were all so happy after it how close of a tournament it ended up becoming because I
yeah,
feel like
was
after
that
the
better?
Ashes,
Because obviously you wanted to win, but you don't just want to turn up and batter everybody, do you? You want a
nah.
sort of good event. Is that how the Ashes felt? Did the Ashes feel like a bit of a disappointment because we weren't really competitive?
Well, I feel like when you guys come over, we were all sort of saying, "Oh, I wonder how good they're going to be." Like we don't want to flog them. Like that's not fun to flog someone. Like you want a close competition. So um, I think after the Ashes, we were hoping that the World Cup was going to be closer, and it definitely was. So
Yeah.
um, I feel like I've said before, I feel like the Ashes was kind of your guys' warm up, and then you guys had your World Cup that you
Yeah,
did.
I
So
think looking back on it now, there was a lot we either weren't prepared for or couldn't really prepare for the
mm,
Ashes. And once we'd had a run at it and we'd learned some lessons, we could put on a better show. Um,
it's probably in hindsight, but it would have been good maybe to have a couple practice games before the Ashes, just to give you
yeah, I
guys
think the
sort of
problem
that.
with that was our flight times. We only landed, I think, 2 or 3 days before that series started. I think that
Yeah,
was the issue. We didn't have time to then play a couple of practice games. Then they'd have to treat the pitch and get it ready again.
because the first
Yeah,
the first time you guys had playing on that pitch was the morning of the Test match, and you guys were
was the
doing
game. Yeah.
a couple of yeah. So like to be fair though, like you guys coming all that way, like so much fun and such a good experience. I know
Oh, it
all of
was
you blokes
so
probably had.
worth it. Yeah, it was so
Yeah,
worth it. And yeah, and obviously we're proud that we did that because I don't think anyone's done anything like that for backyard cricket before to go that far.
no, yeah,
But and how does that feel for you guys then? Because obviously from you got a different perspective from us because for you this is a thing you
mm,
guys have been doing for like 10 years. And suddenly there's
mm.
a team from 10,000 miles away that wants to come and do it. It must be quite a weird feeling.
It's like I remember telling people about it, and they're like, "Serious? Like these blokes are coming from bloody London to play using backyard cricket?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "It's unbelievable." I said, "Like it's so weird, like that this is just even a thing." Because when I first joined, I didn't think this was gonna anything like this would ever happen. But um, I feel like it was the best 2 weeks of the WCG, especially for me. There's
Is
nothing ever
that how
beats
you
that.
feel? Would that be the sort of peak of it?
That Friday and Saturday World Cup was the best. I think a lot of the boys say that, but to me, that was the best 2 days of the WCG ever. That it was unbelievable.
Yeah, and I would probably say that it's the best couple of days of cricket I've ever played, of any kind of
Yeah,
cricket.
yeah,
There was nothing quite like that because obviously the beauty of it is because it's small and closed in,
mm,
the
mm,
atmosphere really kicks in a way that it
mm,
can't in a proper cricket game when their boundary is 70 yards away.
yeah.
Because everyone's so close, you really hear everything and feel that kind of intensity, don't you?
And when we were never like, yeah, like you said, we were never 20 meters apart from each other. Like for
Yeah.
2 weeks is just like we're always talking, strategizing. It's just that intensity as soon as you get on the field. But yeah, like we've had a couple good test series. Like Australia Day is always so much fun, but yeah, I feel like this topped all of it for sure.
Yeah, it was great, wasn't it? And obviously, we're so glad for everything you guys did for us. How did you find the kind of vibe off the pitch as well? How did you find the teams kind of got on New Zealand as well? Like everything sort of together.
Oh, I feel like everyone got on like perfect. I feel like it was a great camaraderie. I feel like everyone sort of banded together, and obviously on the pitch there was a couple scuffles and a couple send offs. I don't know who would have
But
done that,
but
but
that's part of the fun, isn't it?
yeah, of course. I feel like we knew that was going to happen. I think you guys were expecting that, so we
Yeah,
couldn't
and
let
we
you guys
wanted
down
that.
coming all that.
We wanted that.
Yeah.
We wanted the full Australian experience, having seen it on TV for our whole lives. We didn't want to come out there and it be all nice and polite and lovey-dovey. We
Well,
wanted the full Aussie experience.
I'm pretty sure
And
you
we
got that with
definitely got
Maybury
that.
tats and mullets going around, beers in hands. So pretty sure you
Maybury's
got
mullet
that.
is quite something, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah, tell us about your team then, because obviously there are a few of your boys that we love. Maybury is one that's worth talking about. He's quite a character, isn't he?
And every series, every time he's on the field, you just I think I'm in the Brennan's. I was in the Brennan's team with him, so I was glad that he was on my side and not on the other team because you definitely want to keep him on your side. But he's deceptively like a good bolt. Like you know what I mean? Like
He's
you don't
so
when
much better than we expected him to be. He was excellent in the World Cup. Maybe the best
he
bowler
bowls
in the
so
World. I think he
well.
was top
He
wicket
bowls
taker.
so well. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it was
which
him, Yusuf, and me maybe top three,
yeah, and I think also Gerps, the from our
and
team, the
Gerpel.
spinner,
Yeah,
had a really good tournament. Yeah, yeah, I think
but
that you guys were the top four.
some of those Yorkers I remember some of those Yorkers he bowled. Oh
Was that well, Maybury?
yeah, Maybury. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
we do have some characters in our team. That's for sure.
Well, this is the thing that we were really pleased with. The thing that I love most about this tour is that we came out there and we met about, I don't know, 40, 50 of you guys across the 2 weeks.
Mm,
And we met, what, 12, 13 Kiwis that came out. And with that
yeah.
many people, you would assume that, like, all right, most of them will be cool, but a couple of them you're not going to like. What
Mm,
what really struck us was that we're sitting on the plane home going, not one of them was a bad guy. Not one person that we
yeah.
met was a bad dude. They were all brilliant,
Mm.
which it was quite a special thing you lot had there.
I
Um,
think that's something that the boys brought in the WCG in general was like, we're only going to let in people that, we trust and that everyone's good mates. So you
yeah,
boys coming into an environment where everyone's already best mates and everyone already knows everything about each other, it's like, we brought you guys into that. So I think that's what helped as well.
yeah, it really was. The culture was something that struck a lot of us because it's so different to the culture we have in like club cricket over here,
Yeah.
where there's that
Yeah.
brutal honesty you guys have with each other that doesn't really exist over here, and it was great to see.
Yeah. We tell each other how it is. I guess we give it to each other if we deserve it. So,
Yeah, I think you could probably
um,
describe it as firm but fair.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
tell you what we'll do. Crowther is a couple of minutes away from rejoining us, so I think we'll get this started again. He's just asking for a link to be sent over to him, which we'll try and do.
Hopefully he's in a quiet cafe somewhere.
Yeah, he said he's just got to the cafe, so this is going to be a difficult one. Bear with, and we'll try and get Crowther on. In the meantime, Riley, why don't you tell us about how it feels to be a world champion? Because you guys are now the world champions.
We are the world champions. Yeah, it felt really good. Hopefully we can defend it somewhere, someplace, sometime. Maybe over in England, maybe in New Zealand. We'll see. Get some other teams involved, but Yeah, what an experience, I guess. Being able to have the Ashes, have the World Cup in our hands, nothing was going home on that plane with you guys. I think we made that clear from the start that you guys were talking about that empty seat you had booked on the plane, and it stayed empty, didn't it?
Yeah, looking back on it now, I think we may have been a little bit too mouthy before we came out there. I don't think we did ourselves any favours.
I do remember when we met you guys for the first time, and I remember Yusuf saying, "Oh, don't you worry, we've got an empty seat on that plane." I said, "Oh, well, I don't know what much is going to happen with that." And I think after the Ashes, maybe we got a bit too confident, and I think that's what happened in this game. I think we were a bit too confident in our batting. A couple stupid dismissals against you guys, which we'll see. But yeah, I reckon we need to defend our title. Don't want to be world champions for too long. We'll regain it, but
yeah, I would hope so. And the plan is very much for there to be another Ashes. So we are working on a venue at the moment.
Yeah.
Obviously, if that happens, and we're hoping within the next sort of 2 or 3 years we can get you guys over here, would you be on the plane? Is that something you would be willing to do?
If Brendan gives me the call, I reckon I'll be on that plane. I've never been to England. I've got family over there, so.
Oh, so it would be a whole new thing for you entirely, wouldn't it?
Yeah, never been. So I've actually never been to Europe, so I'd probably make a trip out of it. But yeah, depending when it is, depending what I'm, where I am in my life. My life's changed since the World Cup, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah, like I say, hopefully that'll all come off for us. And I think we have got Crowther back.
Here we go.
Here we go. Sorry, lads, that's been an absolute shambles.
We have been patiently waiting for you, mate.
Do you want me to answer the question you asked me 45 minutes ago?
If you can still remember what it was. We'll start this video now then, and we'll get this rolling. Well, I think the question, Crowther, was about how you felt coming into this tournament and then after we'd beaten New Zealand in the first game, wasn't it?
Yeah, look, I think coming into the week, we definitely we had a massive point to prove, right? I think, I can't remember which one of you said it, but we'd been completely flattened the week before, right? I think, the pitch, the environment, everything was a bit different to what we were used to. And I think we took time to adapt to that. And the end result is, you guys took us to pieces. So I think we had a week of soul searching and feeling pretty sorry for ourselves, and came back with I just remember being like insanely determined that we didn't know if we were going to win it, didn't know how competitive we would be, but to do a better showing of ourselves. Because I think, barring maybe one or two games in the Ashes series, we felt like we'd really let ourselves down. New Zealand were a bit of an unknown, right? Because we'd obviously played you boys like in 6 games the week before, but
yeah.
It's interesting. It's interesting you say that as well, Crowther, because I thought that was the big difference between us in the Ashes and the World Cup. I felt in the Ashes we were thinking about winning, whereas in the World Cup it was just a point of pride, wasn't it? Just to not look rubbish. And I think in a way that sort of helped us. Yeah. We took our focus off the end result a little bit and more onto the process itself, I thought.
Yeah, no, you're probably right. There's definitely... It felt like there was a lot less build-up. There's so much build-up to the Ashes. And then when you stepped onto the pitch, it was like, oh, wow, there's a lot happening. Whereas I think with the World Cup, it was a bit like, we're just more settled. A lot more settled.
It is funny that you say that, because I feel like for us, we weren't like, we need to beat these guys. We were like, it's our home. They're not like, we've got nothing to lose. Like, we've got everything to lose. They've got nothing to lose. Like, let's show them how it's done at the WCG. And I think we did that in the Ashes, but we knew that you guys were coming back in that World Cup. So I think you guys, we could all tell in the Ashes that you really wanted to win. And I don't think that helped you at all in that.
Yeah,
in that
I would agree with that.
Yeah, I completely agree. We put too much pressure on ourselves going into that game.
Yeah, looking back on it now, it was way too intense, wasn't it? The build up and all of that. I don't think we relaxed enough when we got there.
It didn't help with Channel 9 News turning up as well, just to add the pressure on.
Yeah,
I feel like
that.
we had very different lead ups to that tournament. We had maybe a couple training sessions the week, 2 weeks prior, but you guys flew all the way from England. You've had all these sessions. It was all a new experience. You're walking into the WCG for the first time. Yeah.
This is the first wicket here. Connor Arnold getting Daniel Arnold out. Riley, tell us a little bit about Daniel Arnold, because he had a really good Ashes, but he struggled a bit in this tournament, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he seemed like, especially in this game, I remember he struggled. He couldn't even hit anything out the middle of the bat in this game. I think he thrives in the test matches, especially in our domestic league, when he knows he's got there's no end. I think he just loves batting. And I think in this, he put a bit of pressure on himself that he knew he had to get going, because he had Joey Azar behind him, Joey Saveri, Brendan, Joel, me. He had all these people behind him that can score runs, Harry. It seemed like he put a bit of pressure on himself to get away quickly, which was interesting, because it didn't seem like it worked out for him.
What did you make of Joe Saveri, Crowther? My memory is that he was a player who surprised us a bit. He was a bit better than we probably expected, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think obviously looking at videos, they had some real talent, and we were really aware of that coming in. But I think it's fair to say we thought he'd be someone we'd be able to knock over probably pretty easily, and yeah, he definitely proved us wrong. And maybe not in this game, but yeah, in general across the tour for sure.
What are your memories of the early stages of this game, both of you, Riley especially? Because my memory of this is that we in the field were outstanding, I thought, in this game, and we bought a lot of wickets like that. But obviously here, 26 for 1, there's no real warning signs of what's about to follow here. So are you feeling fairly relaxed at this point?
Yeah, so I think I came in at 5. I was about 5 or 6 in the World Cup. So at this point, I was sitting there relaxed. My bat was all the way over there. So, but it seems like all the time we would lose 2, 3, 4, and I was quickly rushing, and I felt like I was rushing to get out there. But I'm very surprised to hear that you guys didn't expect much from Joey, because I feel like he's one of our best players. I think we knew that coming in.
Our feeling was that he was a candidate for hitting slow bowlers over the fence. He would snatch at them if you played on his patience, I think was what we thought.
I don't think he thinks he was out in this one, I remember. He gets pretty frustrated here.
Yeah.
I thought this was a pretty clear nick, to be fair. I mean, you're quite close to it there, Crowther. You're a cover there, Crowther. Do you remember this at all? Can you remember if you heard anything?
Yeah, look, I thought he was out. But I think, I don't know. I remember being pumped coming into this. I think.
And here you are now. Go on, talk us through your bowling, Crowther. I think there's a wicket coming up for you here. Do you want to just talk us through how you enjoyed bowling in this series?
Hey, wait.
Oh, there's another one.
I gave my memory of that. Yeah, my memory of that is just shoving Ricky after I caught the ball. Yeah, look, I was just really pumped coming into this, because I felt the week before we let ourselves down, and therefore you can see that in my body language coming in. I mean, obviously skill wise, I'm not bringing much to the table bowling, so I'm just trying to get it down and hopefully not get pummeled for 6 or 4.
I feel like we lost so many wickets.
Oh, that's a good catch.
It's a great catch.
Yusuf was all over Brendan in this tournament, wasn't he? I think Yusuf was near unplayable at times.
He bowled unbelievable. Some of those out the back of the hands. He was accurate. That's a great catch. Wow.
Really good catch, that. And suddenly now, having been sort of 30 for 1, it's now 38 for 4.
You can see me sitting.
Yeah. This is you now.
Me sitting under the shade. Well, you can see me sitting under the shade. I'm grabbing my bat quickly. I'm like, shit, I'm out here now. Like you said, 1 for 26 now, 4 for 38. That's a pie. See you later.
Now, your dismissal in this game is quite controversial, so we'll come to that, Riley. But Crowther, I'm going to put you on the spot first. What are your memories of Riley?
Yeah, look, I remember he had me on toast quite all the time when he was bowling at me. Didn't like facing him. Batting wise, I think we always felt we could get him. Like quite clearly he was good with the bat, but also you always felt like he's sort of one shot away from getting himself out. But when he got through and he was looking confident, and he was pretty useful.
A fair assessment, Riley?
Yeah, I think I said that to you before, that I felt like I'd hit 2 or 3 boundaries, like he 8 off 11, feeling good, and then I'd play a stupid shot or I'd get a good ball, and it's so frustrating.
Right, talk to us about this, Riles.
Nowhere near it. I remember being about this far from the ball. The ball moved about that far. I remember feeling it smash my leg, and I was like, "Oh, like that's a great ball." And I look up and use it all in my face. I'm like, "What's going on?"
Well,
I
don't know. Maybe Crowther can corroborate, but my memory of this is that we were all absolutely certain this was out.
Look how! Oh my god! You see, I'm like, oh yeah, missed that one off the leg.
And I think you were right. To be fair, this is the one, the slow mo. I think that does hit your
there you
shorts.
go. Look at that.
But can
Definitely.
you just talk to us about this bat throw quickly? Because this might be the worst bat throw I've ever seen at a cricket game. That has gone nowhere.
Double-handed bat throw.
We all
It's
know
no
that
Sam
WCG
Dennis,
is
is
pretty
it?
small. I'm not going to throw it over to my own teammates. I had to keep it nice and discreet. It was either going in the grass or at the umpire's head. So, but yeah, like I said,
Did the
I think
umpire say anything to you after that? Did you talk to him after the game or anything?
Well, he said that he heard a massive noise, and then he said the reaction from the England boys was like it was clearly a clear, obvious edge. And I was like, mate, I promise you I missed it by this much. I was nowhere near it. I said it was a good ball, but that happens. I think the bat throw was more, like I said to you before, my frustration that I kept getting to 8, 10, 12 and I'd get out. And yeah, so I think that was my own. I wasn't actually frustrated that I'd been given out. I think I was more frustrated that I'd got out. So, yeah.
Crowther, 59 for 5. What are you thinking is achievable here?
Well, 59 for 6.
6 now, yeah.
I'm thinking to myself, right, boys, we can get 5 wickets in the next 8 overs, then I don't have to bowl my second over. So that's that's the main thought process, I think. But obviously, look, we there's no point during the last week we'd ever had them this many down to this few. So you smell like you're smelling blood. It's a real opportunity that we can, we can get the series off to a flyer.
That's a great shot there from Mabry.
Yeah, I think he's been beaten for pace there, isn't he? I think that was just too quick for him.
Yeah.
What did you both make of Ricky as a leader in this tournament and in this tour as a whole?
Oh,
and for you, Riley, how did Ricky compare to Brendan?
That's a great question.
There's that slower ball. Oh, it's such a good ball, that.
We were talking about that before, about how hard that was to pick, and none of our boys really bowl slower balls. And I actually was thinking about it when I watched this back, and I was saying, why did I not bowl more? Or why did we not try and change it up a bit more? I feel like we're a bit too straight and forward with that. But with Brendan and Ricky, I feel like, to me, it seems like Ricky was a lot more lenient. Like, as in, your batting order changed a lot. You guys were switching it around. I feel like Brendan's very structured. He's played cricket his whole life. He's played high grade cricket. So to me, I played under Brendan in the Brendan's 11 teams too. So playing under Brendan feels like he was, he's the man. He's the best player that's ever played at WCG. So, but to us, it did seem like you guys were changing it up a bit, and we were interested by that. Like, Ricky was probably your best batter, and he was. Sometimes he'd come in at 8, sometimes come at 4.
But I think the difference for us was that because all of our players had paid so much money, taken so much time off work and gone so far, we kind of feel you had to give everyone a fair go. Whereas you guys probably didn't have to do that because you guys will play there last year, play there the year after. This was our kind of one weekend to be there, wasn't it? Or 2 weekends.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But
in terms of leadership style, I felt Ricky's leadership is very much on the pitch. Like, Ricky leads through his quality of his bowling, quality of batting, and you just you stand there and watch him and just respect the will to win and the real the kind of just quality he brings. Whereas I think Brendan's more probably probably more experienced leader. As you said, has played cricket at like a very, very high level and held those leadership positions before. Probably has more of an off the pitch presence maybe than Rick does. I don't even.
Yeah,
I mean, in a good way.
Ricky definitely seemed like he was the leader on the pitch. He was the most passionate one every time there was a wicket. So we could see that. Especially, I was so surprised at how good of a fielder he was, to be fair.
Mate, it surprises everybody. He doesn't look like he's going to be a good fielder, does he?
No, he was.
But I think, he stops a few here. I think he stops about 4 in and over here. But I should say for him, to be fair, he has been in the past a semi-professional goalkeeper in football, so he's more agile than he looks.
Right. There he is again.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, some of the catches you see him take on a Saturday or Sunday, and he flies through the air. Obviously, when he lands, the ground shakes a bit, but it's like the movement in the air is incredible.
Crowther, tell us about this man, Gerps. I thought he bowled brilliantly in this tournament. What were your memories of Gerps' bowling?
I actually remember, I have a very vivid memory of you, I think it was you and Rick, sitting him down and basically telling him to bowl faster and stop tossing it up. And I think week on week, that made an enormous difference. Like when he came back the second week, he was bowling these fizzing deliveries, a decent nick, and then obviously Gerps rips it a mile. So, if you're bowling at a decent pace and you're ripping it a mile, it's really hard to play. And it doesn't surprise me that the guys struggled more against him this time round than maybe the week before, where he was tossing it up a lot and you had time to come down the pitch and just sort of back past him, I suppose.
The 82 all out, Riley, what are you thinking here? Was this a bit of a shock to the system? Has this ever happened to you guys against a sort of outside team before? What are you thinking here at 82 all out?
I don't think we've been rolled like this before internationally. So you can see all of us under the tent there. We're a bit shell shocked, to be honest. Like I said, I think we underestimated probably how much you guys are going to come out in this game. But we knew we had to bowl well now, only defending 82. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like Brendan was confident. I think we were really confident in our bowling attack, though, at the end of the day. I feel like we didn't really have any weaknesses as such.
Well, that was a big thing. I mean, with all respect to present company, Crowther, you guys, the Aussies, had no bowler that you could regularly take for 3 or 4 boundaries in and over. There was no one you could target. And I think that was probably what made the big difference in this whole tournament, really, in the end, wasn't it? Yeah.
I feel like same with New Zealand. I think there was a couple bowlers that you knew if you stayed around, you could smack them around for a couple easy runs. But I don't know what you guys thought, but I feel like we were pretty confident whoever had the ball in hand could take a wicket.
Well, I'll let Crowther as one of our batters. Crowther, take that one.
Yeah, I completely agree. There's no obvious weakness. And even after skittling you for 82, I remember thinking like we're gonna, we need a good start here because we didn't have in the week before we didn't have many good solid all batting performances. So yeah, and as you say, the bowling felt at times a bit relentless because all 10 of you were pretty solid.
Yeah.
I want to ask you about this, Riley, as well. So this is the tactical talking points. So you guys don't really have anything like this on your channel, though. This one is obviously Yusuf's slower ball, but there was one about you later in the tournament. Did you get a chance to see that? And what did you make of it?
I did, because I remember when I was watching the video, I'm like, oh, this is so cool that you guys are actually analysing how do you remember? It was something to do with my action, and
I can't remember exactly. Something to do with your bowling arm or something. Yeah, I can't remember exactly. But
I feel like you said something about how when I first played at WCG, I used to fall over, and then
that was it. Yeah, you were leaning a lot more previously. Yeah, and then when you got up taller, you had more pace, more bounce, more accurate. Was that? Yeah. How does that feel watching that back? Was that something you were aware of? Was that something you already knew?
It's a great question. Well, I played a lot of indoor cricket in that period of time, and I feel like that sort of changed the way that I bowled, because I was trying to focus on accuracy and swing, because in indoor, you get a lot of swing. So coming into this tournament. But then I feel like it was a different mentality because, especially from my point of view, I love competition and I'm always in the thick of it. So I was trying to bowl as fast as I could every single ball to you guys. So maybe it was sort of like a subconscious thing that I was coming in harder and more straight. But when you brought it up, I was like, oh, really? Well, I didn't even sort of realize that I was doing that.
Crowther, what are you thinking here? Chasing 83, about to go out into the middle. I'm obviously going out there. I'd had a pretty poor Ashes, but had made some runs against New Zealand. Do you remember what the sort of mood in the camp was at this point and what the danger zones were for us maybe in this chase?
Yeah, look, I think we're all sat there hoping our vice captain was going to get some runs because he hadn't got very many in this series so far.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I'm thinking to myself, Dog or Alex, like, please don't send me out at one for one or 2 for 1 or something.
Yeah, because you were in next, weren't you? I think you were number 2 in this game.
Yeah, like so, but you did the business. Has he scored against New Zealand?
Yeah, I think I got about not a huge score, but I think I got about 38 or 40 or something against New Zealand, which was the first thing I'd really done with the bat on that whole tour.
Yeah.
So I did feel a bit better coming into this game.
Huge relief.
I remember you guys singing at this point.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that, and I guess every player's different, but it was noticeable. There were certain players, and I was one of them, who whenever the crowd sung a song about them, the next ball went for 4. I thought it always helped me hearing the boys sing and hearing the boys create the atmosphere. I would always get the next one well after that. But what did you think of it, Crowther? Because you had songs about you as well. What did you make of it?
It was a real intentional thing, right? So coming into the week, we were like, we need to get, at times out there it's really hard, it's really intense atmosphere. Obviously, the crowd is entirely Aussie, so like we need to feel like we have a bit of a presence in there. And then when you're batting, maybe you don't feel like you're on your own because you've got everyone sat there singing. So look, for me, I loved it when I was batting, and then when I wasn't batting, I tried to always get everyone up for it and get behind whoever's batting.
Just saw you shake your head there, Riley.
I feel like we set you up so perfectly for this wicket, and
well, he did, because Bolling had a word with me the over before and thrown a couple at the stumps, and Brendan brought him straight on, and I fell for it hook, line, and sinker.
Full toss,
got lucky.
Oh, God.
Pick your fielders.
Joey dropping it.
Yeah.
Pick your fielders.
That's a good nut. He turned it. I remember this surprising me because I didn't think he turned much in the Ashes bowling, and then he was starting to really get him a go in this game.
I reckon I think in the Ashes he might have bowled with the half, which sort of skids a bit more.
Yeah, but he got moving in this one.
Yeah. He's always our surprise bowler, especially in the domestic as well. He always seems to find a wicket here and there.
That was a good shot. I was quite happy with this one. Brendan had been moving closer and closer, and I was thinking if I can wait, I can get it to his left in that gap. I was quite pleased with this.
That is a good shot. You can see I'm not happy with that one, so...
And Crowther, you must be feeling more relaxed at this stage. What are we here, about 23 for none or something? Or are the nerves kicking in? The more I'm in, would you rather I'd got out early so you can get in early, or is it better having this sort of base?
No, always better to have runs in the board. I still would have been nervous. I think, I still would have been nervous beforehand, but always better to come in with runs on the board.
This is the moment that changed this tournament a little bit. This is the first time we brought out the Maybury song. Riley, your face is a picture here that in a moment, this is brilliant. Bottom left of your screen, you're about to come in when we sing this song, Riley. Tell us about this, because your face is brilliant here.
This shocked me. I was not expecting this to come in. Look, I think you can see me here, and I think I hear it. There we go. I'm like,
you got Brendan in the background with his hands on his head as well.
It was so good. And I think we all knew, but I think we were worried as well because we knew that I think he bowls another crap ball there. Yeah, you can get in his head so easily, and we knew that, and we were trying to tell him. we'll try to don't get sucked in by it because you're gonna lose your head. Look at me, I'm like, oh god.
Crowther, you got
But
anything to add to that?
No, I love Mabry as a character, man. It really added to the series having him there. And yeah, I just
He was
sure.
brilliant, wasn't he, Mabry? Great bowler as well.
Yeah.
terrible haircut.
And this is not my finest moment
Is this
ever.
the run out?
Yeah. Do you know what? I realised
Oh.
afterwards, all I had to do was carry on running. He's not going to run me out of non-strikers. I should have just carried on and took a single.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to get back. Yeah.
It's just that's your cricket brain. Yeah, outdoor cricket
It's just
brain
your
going, trying
instinct
to get
kicks
back.
in, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's a pretty
Yeah,
dross
yeah.
dismissal, that. But he's done well, hasn't he, Pat
we-
McGregor? Tell us about him, because he's a great character as well, isn't he?
Yeah, well, he actually didn't expect to get any games. To be fair, he was sort of a reserve player that's been playing there for a while, but he's actually an like really high up indoor cricket player. So I think that's where those skills came from, being right close in the bat in indoor cricket. So, yeah.
Crowther, coming in here off the back of 40 odd against New Zealand, where you played brilliantly, and you got off to a flyer here. Tell us about this little innings of yours. How are you feeling coming into it? How are you feeling getting these boundaries away early?
Yeah, good. Like I always, whenever I came in, I was too tentative in the week before. And every game in the World Cup, I just thought I want to dominate and I want to get on top. And then obviously just put as much through that offside, which you guys have got on to pretty quickly.
Very strong in this tournament. And I wanted to ask you about this shot, because there's a side replay coming of this shot now. This is one of my favourite shots of the whole tournament, this. I love the little flick of the wrists as this goes through, and the side on replay, this is brilliant. Talk us through this one, Crowther.
Yeah, look, it's so like when I bat, it's so instinctive. I'm not really thinking about exactly where I'm placing it or where I'm going. I just want to get really solid contact bat on ball and get my weight forward. And I'm obviously pumped up there. I'm just giving the crowd a little G up, which probably took my own doing, because I think I get out here, or I definitely get out pretty soon.
Yeah, this is a bizarre one. I mean, what did that hit? Did that hit your hand or the bat? What happened here?
It's hit my leg, and then it's hit my hand on the way through. And as soon as I hit it, I'm like, oh no, that's hit my hand. The umpire's obviously not giving it, but I'm like, that's hit my hand. And I just thought,
he's not.
Look, the spit. Sorry, go on.
No, you go.
To say the umpire's not giving it. And I just remember thinking, like, the spirit of the weekend and the way the competition had been played, I was like, I should walk here, and it just felt like the right thing to do. So I just walked off, and obviously
I would agree with that. I think we owed it to them because their sportsmanship was brilliant. Is that kind of how it is there, Riley? You guys are raised to be sort of firm but fair or whatever, because your guys' sportsmanship was fantastic, we thought, all the way through. Yeah,
well, the thing about WCG is we actually didn't have an umpire there for a while. We were umpiring our own game, so I feel like if you were out, you were out. You weren't there for, it's just a couple mates playing some cricket. So I feel like that sort of translated into the World Cup. Would have been nice to see that when I got hit on the shorts, but but yeah.
Also, I think on it, it's sorry, go on.
No, you go, Joe.
No, go ahead, Crowther. Go ahead, mate.
To say, I remember thinking, well, I think to myself a couple of times when I watched this back, and obviously at the time it's 51 or 50 for one or something, and I wonder if I'd have walked if we were 50 for 7 chasing 83 rather than 50 for 1. But because at the time, I get very, very competitive, and I remember thinking it was the right thing to do at the time, but I don't know if I'd have had such clear judgment if we'd needed 8 runs to win and I've been the last wicket or something like
that. At this point now, Riley, you must be thinking this game is over, are you?
Yeah, it's 259, definitely. But no,
is this where Pat McGregor gets the clangers?
Oh, is this the one when he runs in?
This is brilliant. This.
Oh god! But see how Yusuf ran. That's
exactly it. He did exactly what I should have done and just gone.
Yeah. Oh, it's a cracker.
Rugged.
I don't think I was on the field at this time, but I probably knew that the game was probably over here.
Yeah. And how are you feeling, Crowther? Are you feeling the same, 60 for 2?
Yeah, look, feeling really good at this point. Feels like it's going to be a really convincing victory. I think we need 23 off. We've got way more than a runner ball. We'll see with some
You've still
aggressive
got
guys
6
to
overs
come.
left. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this is the
really
moment
good.
where the panic sets in, I think. Tell us about this, Riley. Is this the moment where you felt you might be coming back into it, or did it take another wicket or two before you get to that stage?
I think you can see by my celebration that I knew getting Yusuf out was important. I think does Ricky come in here?
Yeah, it'd be Ricky now. Yeah. Go on, talk us through these next couple of deliveries then, because you and him have had some good battles here.
Well, I feel like when we knew Ricky come out, we were like, he's either going to win it for them or we get him out and we win this game. Because, like you said before, Ricky's your leader on the pitch. So I feel like if we get him out cheap here, you guys probably start to sit and go, oh God. But
and it doesn't pick up on the video, but at this point you're getting a bit of stick from the crowd here, aren't you, Riley?
Yeah, I'm getting told that my bowling is shite and then clean bowling.
Love the celebration as well. That must have been a good moment for you, that.
Oh, that feeling was so good. Because I actually, to be fair, I was sitting because the run-up's behind the house and you can't really, and I'm standing behind the house and I remember looking up there and and I'm like, I'm telling myself I got to do something here. And I don't know what shot Ricky was playing there.
Well, that's what I was going to say. From an English perspective on this, obviously it's a great moment for you, but from our perspective, the thought is just, what was he doing?
Do you think the chanting got in his head a little bit? He's like, I need to hit him.
Possibly. Maybe he's trying to stamp some authority down or trying to get the game done quickly. I don't know. But yeah, Crowther, what are you now thinking? 60 for 2 has become 70 for 4. Are you nervous at this point, or are you still fairly calm?
No, I think Gertz is in, isn't he? You just never know what you're going to get with Gertz. Probably our most technically gifted and beautiful to watch batsman, but you just never know. So I think at this point, nerves are probably starting to creep in.
And they're definitely creeping in now.
He's here, does he?
This catch was controversial, I think.
I think he caught this, to be fair. And again, what we said about the sportsmanship before, you guys were so honest all the way through that if he says he caught it, then he caught it, really.
Yeah. I remember I had a pretty good view of it, but I think I remember it hitting his arm, and then I saw it a lot. Like he sort of caught it. Yeah. But I would have actually been happy if he didn't go given out there, to be honest.
Crowther, what are you now thinking? With Sam in as well, who hadn't had a great tournament either.
Probably.
Are we at panic stations yet?
No, but I'm probably thinking to myself, right, Sam, just make sure whatever happens, don't throw your bat again, because if you do that, the Aussies are going to love it.
What?
Yeah.
Some of these shots, wow.
Some of these were. This is just panic shots. I mean, that for me is a panic shot.
You can see that I'm telling him to throw the bat, and Brendan's telling Everson don't throw the bat. Look, you can see me here. I remember going like, throw the bat, throw the bat, throw the bat.
I feel for Sam there, because again, he's absolutely wellied that. It's about 6 inches further down than it's 6, but it's gone over. So it's frustrating. Such a frustrating way to get out.
And what's the mood on the pitch like now, Riley? You're there at cover. Do you remember the atmosphere at these moments? Because the game is turning a bit now, isn't it?
I think we were telling ourselves, come on, boys, we're in this game. Like they're surely they're in their own heads at the moment, but we did know that though two. Like, look, you can see me there. I'm like, yeah, one bad ball away, and we've lost this game.
Yeah, I mean, this is something else. This, wow.
Oh.
That's going for 6. That's the end of the game. He's hit that well, Connor. But yeah. And again, you talk about Ricky's fielding earlier. Brendan doesn't really look as though he's got this in his locker, does he? But
he's taken some absolute classic catches at the WCG.
But what are you thinking now, Crowther? We're right behind this in the stand. What's racing through your mind now?
Yeah, look, I think it's, if you get resoundingly beaten, then that's obviously frustrating. But if you get yourself to a position where you're so dominant in the game, and you just don't, you just like don't throw it away. Surely we're not going to be in a position where we throw this away. Ant's in, because obviously I think Ant was the youngest member of the team, and you're just hoping that he's he can stand up to the character and the pressure that's on him. Yeah.
And he did, to be fair to him. And it goes towards you, Riley. Now, I'm going to just give you an excuse in advance here, because what you can't see on the camera is that there's like drainage. There's like a tile underneath that bit of the ground.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, great feeling this, wasn't it, Crowther?
I think I remember Brendan telling you guys you haven't won the World Cup yet.
Well, what are your memories of this moment, Crowther? Describe this feeling.
I think, well, actually, to be fair, I think it's probably a bit of relief, having been 85-7, but also just the feeling that not only that great we've won the game, but we're going to be really competitive all weekend, and that's ultimately what we came over to do, is to be competitive and have a good game. It's not fun for anyone if you're just getting trounced. So yeah, really, just massive relief and really good feeling there. It's great.
How about you, Riley? What are you thinking? Because obviously most of the way through this game, it looks like a pasting. Suddenly it's become very close and exciting. How is that feeling? Are you almost happy at the end of the game because you've made it close at the last minute? Or
we told ourselves after this game, look how excited they are that they finally beat us. Let's not let them feel like that again. Because I feel like, but then to be fair, like I said before, I feel like we were always confident that our bowling was always going to get us wickets. So I actually lost track of how many runs you guys needed at the end there. I feel like I thought it was a lot further away than what it was, and then I misfielded and it was game over. But I think you guys needed that win. I think that win sort of boosted you guys a bit, knowing that you could beat us and that you could compete with us.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we did, and we ended up being the two teams facing off in the final. Crowther, how did the rest of the tournament go from an English perspective leading into that final? Because while you were offline earlier, me and Riley were saying it, you could argue England were the best team in this tournament up until the final.
Yeah, look, it's funny. As soon as I started looking at the footage again, I just felt hot, because it was so hot all weekend. Yes. And our boys, I don't think adjusted to the weather. Obviously, you guys are a bit more used to it. And again, do you know what? It gives me massive sympathy for English teams who tour Australia in like the Ashes, and you do it for 25 days, and the heat and being surrounded by like basically people who aren't from your own country who are trying to get at you for 25 days. It gave me a lot more sympathy, because going into that final, the second day, the final couple of games, I remember just thinking like, hot, I'm tired, I'm really enjoying it. This has been an amazing experience, but it's like, you've got to go again. We've got to find the energy to go again. And I think we just burn out and run out of energy in that final game. And you look at the batting, there's a lot of like sloppy shots and sort of tired shots. And then obviously really disappointed we didn't get over the line in that final. But look, it's really hot, it's really hard, it's really tiring, and actually we put in a pretty good shift for 95% of that tournament. Pleased with what the boys did.
Yeah, we'll come to Riley in a moment as the world champion to close us out, but I will just ask you that then, Crowther. How do you reflect on a personal level on that trip as a whole? It wasn't just the cricket tour, we got to see a lot of Sydney as well. How do you reflect on that trip? Even though we didn't come home with any trophies, there's a lot of pride involved, wasn't there?
It was a hell of a trip, right? Like, I love the experience. Literally unbelievable experience, and a really unique experience. There's a lot of things we did on that trip which most people don't get to do. So I'm just really grateful for that. And look, it's good to. I don't know how I got some wickets, but it's good to get some wickets, and I'm pleased that I managed to. I think I was England's top run scorer in that tournament, so that was good from a personal point as well.
And we'll close out with you then, Riley, world champion. How was that tournament for you? How was this game for you? How was the final for you? How was the whole experience having us in New Zealand over there?
Yeah, the whole experience, we were all so excited for it, and I think it didn't did not let down one bit. I think on a personal level, I was like, if we don't win the World Cup, then that's a fail. Like, you got both teams coming over to our home ground. Like, we had to win. At least I thought we had to win. But yeah, on a personal level, I think I played really well. I didn't get the runs that I wanted to. I thought, like I said to you earlier, that I was a batter that could bowl, but I think I surprised myself, to be honest, at how well I ended up bowling. I was a bit disappointed in how I batted because I found myself thought I was going to score a lot of runs, to be honest. And I think you guys sort of got in my head a little bit before calling me the MVP, and that sort of didn't really help. But I was trying to replicate that, but it didn't happen.
Well, I thought you did great, and you as well, Crowther. Both had brilliant tournaments, and this has been a lot of fun. It's been great to have you both on. Big thank you, especially to Riley, from joining us all the way from Sydney. That's all we've got time for on the Backyard Cricket England podcast today. If you've been watching this on our Backwards podcast, you'll have seen a shortened version. The full version of this conversation will be up in a few days' time, and we will see you next time on Backyard Cricket England. Boys, thank you both very, very much for joining us.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.
What is this peasant stuff? Come on.